Don with the Nearly Historical Railroad channel. This is the train room. Welcome to our little world. I got my list. So, first thing on the list is t-shirt. T-shirt. Oh yeah, this is like my favorite t-shirt. I think I wore it in the last video and I was watching it and I'm like, God, I like that t-shirt. It's like, was that like the bottom of the laundry pile? So it's like lost for a month because you never quite get to the bottom of the pile. And then you find it and it's like, oh, I missed this shirt.
Despite strong opposition, this law now, in fact, applies to purple tickets. And in other news, the lunar rover Floyd is lost.
Cool.
And scientists are still boggled as to what actually happened to
this
the
is a
dark side of the moon. They cannot find it anywhere. Nice. It's just gone.
So anyways, just wanted to cover that real quick. Oh, also on the list is camera accessories. I want to show you something on the camera that I kind of upgraded. So we're gonna talk about train stuff. That's cool. But if I get camera stuff, I kind of share that with you a little bit. Also, like back when I got a new lens. No idea. I only thought about that far in this conversation. Okay, let's talk about Leon. So he left me a comment and I didn't reply to it. And it's been like a few weeks and I've felt really a little bad. But Leon sent a question and what's cool is he is in South Africa. I mean, there's people in South Africa watching our videos. That's like crazy. So anyways, he'd asked, what do we use to like clean our track, especially the stuff like underneath, because we have hidden tracks. So I'm gonna show you what we use to clean track. I don't know, just kind of what everybody else uses probably, but I'll show you what we do. I don't know if it's good or even recommended or maybe bad, but whatever. So, Big Bill had a question also. How many days do I work on the train layout? And my dad also. So I come out every Monday night. I get out here a little after 5 about, and that's about time the pizza comes out of the oven and it gets cut and we eat dinner. Then we get out to the train room a little after 5:30 or so. And we start working. And then I stay here till about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And I do have to work the next morning. So sometimes, yeah. So I get out here once a week. Sometimes I will come out on a Saturday or maybe another day that I have off and I'll spend a whole day out here, especially if we're doing rock molds or scenery and want to make a big push on something like that. I'll do that, but normally once a week. So my dad is out here obviously on Monday nights with me also, but he happens to live here. I live somewhere else. So he has been able to come out here probably 2 or 3 nights during the week outside of the Monday nights for maybe 3 hours or so. And he's been able to get out here a little bit more in recent time. So I think that's, that's how much we work on the layout. Okay, let's talk about some train stuff actually, what we did on the layout. So in the last video, we were working on this area. So my dad, he basically kind of sanded this down a little bit and didn't have to do a whole lot more than that with it. And that actually worked out pretty well. This homegrown Sculptamold actually, I was surprised it didn't actually crack or shrink. It actually worked out pretty well. So this works, well, it works now. So this is good. Okay, dirty wheels. So you can see we kind of put a little bit of a curve in that And now this turnout is nice and lined up with the next turnout. And putting this curve in here made the approach to it much better. And the Penzie actually goes through it without shorting out now. See that? The Penzie went through it. Nice. Nice and smooth, actually. This is good. Oh, and also, if we disconnect these cars, they don't roll away. They actually stay on the siding. There was something else on this list about Big Bill. You need to subscribe to his channel. So, he has his own channel and his own layout. It's called the South Brooklyn Railroad, aka Catastrophe Railroad. He doesn't put a lot of videos out very often, but he's got a really cool layout. And a while ago, he had my dad and I on a live stream on the Model Railroading live show. And that kind of helped us out get going, so I really appreciate that. I've actually hit 1,000 subscribers now. Big Bill is super close on his own personal channel. So check it out, put a link in the description, maybe up here on whatever site it's at. The South Brooklyn Railroad. I think it's really cool. Not a big layout, but it's really cool. I love it. It's just grungy and dirty. It's you know, back in the 1983 era, and I think that's what it, yeah, subscribe to his channel, okay? Just do that. Yeah, that's it. I gotta show you something that my dad did on the staging yard. Yes, progress on that. So this is the bottom side of the staging yard. It's sitting upright so we can get to the bottom. But look at that, a tortoise and another tortoise. Not wired, but they're in place. And if you notice, this is the old switch machine that was in here. I think it was actually working, but we're just gonna change it out with the tortoise. My dad has left it wired in case there's anything coming off of it we need to examine and know about. So this tortoise is actually mounted on the top deck, and it's replacing that old thing there. So he got it mounted and connected to this turnout down here, and it seems to be working. It's not wired, so we're not sure, but it seems to work. And he left the wiring attached to that thing so that we can see what it may have been connected to and what else it may be running. So this is progress on the old staging yard. So that, I just showed you that because that is significant. There's kind of a strong-ish vertical curve right in there. So I thought, oh, let's run the long passenger cars in a Pinzi over and see what happens. If it doesn't make it, that's all right. But it actually made it. So that's cool. That's cool. It actually made it all the way through the old cattle field siding thing. So that's good. That's good. All right. So again on the list is Leon from South Africa. I never got to reply to your comment because I wanted to do it on camera. So anyways, we use a Bright Boy to clean the track. If we haven't run stuff in a while, we'll use the little Bright Boy, just like pretty much everybody else does. Sometimes I'll take a file and clean this off. But yeah, if we haven't run stuff for a while, my dad and I will just sit here for, I don't know, half hour or whatever and just go over all the track with it basically. And sure, it leaves a little bit of junk, little fuzzies, not fuzzies, but little, I don't know, powder behind. So it'd be good to vacuum every once in a while. If things are really bad, we have this electric sander. And this, it just takes the rail right down, bam, down to the ties. Don't use it. Don't do that. That's bad. Anyways, for the harder to reach places, there's a couple spots on the narrow gauge where there's just a lot of land. So this is, I don't know what it is, a tidy track. So it's basically a Bright Boy on the end of this thing. Drag that on there. In theory, if you're running trains a lot, I think track kind of stays somewhat clean from what I've heard. Heard some people say, yeah, we run trains all the time and hardly ever clean the track. I think it's because they're using it a lot. And I don't know. We live in a dry, dusty environment here, so I don't know. Now this, I'm not gonna recommend this. Use this on your own risk. Use this at your own risk, that's it. But when I was a little kid and my dad and I had a layout, I don't know how we figured it out, but this is, it's Labelle 108 oil for lubricating gears and locomotives, but somewhere we just started putting a little drop on the rail here, a little drop there, a little drop there, and ran trains over it. And we actually kind of do that a lot. Not a lot, but we do it on the standard gauge, and it works well. It actually cleans the track really well. Now I think the issues are gonna be, your wheels obviously might start slipping a little, not gonna be able to pull as much. And I gotta imagine that over time, it's gonna maybe get a little sticky on the wheels and start collecting lint and fuzz more than it normally would. You probably have to kind of clean those out of your trucks and stuff. So I don't know, you can try it, but don't tell me I told you to try it. But it does seem to actually work. Recently, Scott got this, what is it, Tidy Track. Oh, same people made this. Clean Track Solution. So I haven't used this a lot, but I did use it some on the narrow gauge and it actually seems to work good, probably better than doing the oil thing. So we're doing that stuff. So yeah, that's it. We've eliminated a lot of track that's underneath the layout, so it's a little easier, but yeah, we just have to get in there and clean it sometimes. But again, there's areas too that maybe just dragging the oil through on the wheels, haven't really cleaned it much. So I don't know, same thing everyone else does, I think. Also for track cleaning on the narrow gauge, I have this track cleaning car right here, and I pretty much always just have it on one of the trains and I've got it running around, and that seems to help out also. Now you don't want to go putting that oil on the track and then running that through that, or probably the other cleaner and then running the track cleaning car through it, probably not a good idea. So I don't know, that seems to help out. So we have a couple of other standard gauge track cleaning cars, but I haven't tried them a lot. I think one of the couplers is a little low, or maybe one of the track cleaners is kind of catching on stuff a little. So I can't say much about these, how well they work or not. But I don't know, you know, sure it's all wrong. Maybe it's all right. I don't really care. We just kind of do what we do. So, okay, well, there's that now. All right. All right, so stick with me for just a moment. I'm gonna talk about camera, because I wanted to kind of upgrade some stuff a little bit. Not the camera specifically, but check this out, look. That's the camera, okay? But what's interesting is I got this small rig stuff here. We're gonna do this. So, what I did is I got this little cage that goes around the camera. And I got this handle that goes on this side of it. And I got a handle that goes up on here. So now I can just grab this and move the camera around. Carry it around. So it's so much easier just to set the camera down somewhere and pick it up and move it. Now, the other thing I did is I got just this short little, let's see, let's move the screen. This is, this is the microphone plug. I got a short little wire that goes from here, and the microphone is plugged into it right there. This is the first night I've used this, so we'll see how it works. Plugs in there. The reason I did this is kind of simple. That little microphone plug, every night every train night, I'm plugging that plug into the camera, out of the camera, into the camera. I don't want to like wear that plug out in the camera. So I got this little wire that I plug into there and I leave it plugged in. Then I just plug the microphone in to this. So this can get wore out as much as it wants. And that's where all the wear is happening. So the other thing that I wasn't liking is my little shotgun mic would sit up here on the little hot shoe. All night long, I'm flipping that microphone back and forth, forward and back, and sliding in and out, in and out, in and out. And I just, I felt like that was extra wear on the camera. So with this cage, it has a mount for a microphone here and one up here, and I could add one somewhere else onto this. So now I'll be putting the microphone on this, and all the wear will be on that, not on the camera itself. Now, it was my own issue, and I totally didn't think that when I had the camera set this way, that handle was gonna block the screen. So, this is my first night trying it. It's actually kind of working. I can see myself enough, I think, to see that I'm in frame, I'm recording, so it might work out. But this handle's nice to be able to grab onto and hold the camera. I like that. So, little upgrade on the equipment for doing the YouTube channel. And in case you're curious, this is a Panasonic Lumix GH5 camera. My very first video, I used the cell phone. So you can do that. And I just want to say that this equipment that I got is, it's from Small Rig. It's called Small Rig. So it's actually designed really well. The only issue I have, and really I don't think you can really do anything about it. It's a little hard to get to the power switch to turn the camera off. But I don't think you could really get around it. I don't think it's really a design flaw. It's just not much you can do. Kind of tucked back in here a little bit. But everything else is like available. I can get the battery out, I can get the cards out, I can get to all the other buttons without stuff being in the way. The only other issue too that I knew I was gonna have, doesn't fit my backpack anymore. I just gotta come up with some other way to transport the camera, make some kind of case for it. Okay, just kind of carry this thing around like this. I kind of like that. All right, so we talked about camera stuff. We talked about the cattle yard. We talked about the staging yard. And we talked about Big Bill's channel. Make sure you go subscribe, check out some of his videos. His layout's really cool. So the South Brooklyn Railroad, go check that out. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already to Big Bill first, and then me if you're cool with it, you know, whatever. So anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. We will see you later. Thank you. Goodbye.